So here we are, the day we've all been waiting for. Newcastle United back in the Champions League after over 2 decades. What an unbelievable feeling it is being here in Milan, you know, full of Newcastle United fans, all absolutely excited. This is their Christmas day that they've been having sleepless nights over. An absolutely glorious day here. I mean, when we came out, we checked the weather forecast, I packed the factor 50, and up until now we haven't had to use it. You know, it's been cloudy. We had a huge thunderstorm yesterday, shortly before the Etihad press conference, but today the sun is shining on Italy. It's going to be shining on that canal where the fans. It's going to be shining on the San Siro throughout the afternoon. We're currently on the way to the under-21 game, slightly south of the city centre. We're just about to get a train from Famagosta to see the under-21s play in the UEFA Youth League. It'll be a very, very good test for the youth side. Ben Dawson's men. We're expecting the likes of Alex Murphy, Ben Parkinson, Jamie Miley to all be involved. Very interesting to see how they get on against what's going to be an experienced AC Milan team, despite the fact they're all going to be youngsters themselves. They'll have played in this competition before. They know exactly what is asked of them. But yeah, look, just fantastic day. We're going to head there and then we're going to head into the city centre to soak up some of that famous Milan atmosphere. So come with us on the journey. So I'm going to try pronounce this right. We're outside the Centro Sportivo Vismara. How's that Italian for you? We're just there. We just found a little bit of shade, which isn't easy to come by. We're just about heading to the stadium. Just had to get a train and a tram over. Funnily enough, we actually passed the Newcastle youth team bus driving through Milan city centre. I'm sure they were in a lot more luxury than I was, in a very hot, sweaty, packed tram riding through the city. But look, we're going to go in. We're going to see what the youngsters can do against this AC Milan side. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. But look, it's whetting the appetite before tonight's senior game, and hopefully the young Magpies can get the job done. So we're just leaving the sporting centre here in Milan, where Newcastle United's under-19s have just lost 4-0 to AC Milan under-19s. We expected it to be a really, really tough task for Newcastle, and it was. They conceded 3 early goals, were 3-0 down after half an hour, and AC Milan added a 4th with a penalty late. And look, there was definitely positives to take for Newcastle. Charlie MacArthur, the central defender, signed last summer. He looked very, very good. He looked composed and comfortable on the ball. He's clearly one of the leaders in that dressing room, along with Jamie Miley, who is the under-19s captain. He very, very good. He was trying to get the lads to sort of power through, even though the scoreline was against them. And then you also had Ben Parkinson, who's been knocking on Anyhow's door. He was obviously involved over pre-season. He looked very, very sharp down the right. So there's positives, you know. As Ben Dawson said, it's going to be a learning curve playing opposition of this nature. They've got Dortmund and PSG still to come. Hopefully they'll have learned a little bit from what was a very, very tough test here in Milan, and they can take that into the next few games. So we've made our way from the under-21s game. We're now at the canal. I just want to give you guys a little feeling of what the atmosphere was like a couple of hours ago compared to what it's like now. I came here expecting to see hundreds of Newcastle fans, all without tickets, ready to, you know, party long into the night, well before kick-off. And I've got here about 90 minutes before the game starts, and it's absolutely dead. Nobody here. I'm going to race to the San Siro. I'm going to try get there and back in time. I'm going to try and record some Newcastle United fans and speak to some of those on their way to the San Siro who've left it maybe a little bit late. I'm then going to race back across town, back to the Irish bar, where we suspect quite a lot of ticketless Newcastle fans are going to watch the game. But yeah, very surprised at the canal at this time of night. Yeah, we're back at the canal. We've had a bit of a mad rush. I'm a little bit out of breath, given that we've just had to race back from the San Siro. We followed the fans in. The canal was really, really dead about an hour before kick-off. Nobody really around. Fans had all deserted it and gone back to the San Siro. But we're back here now. We're going to go to the Irish pub, see what the fans are doing. It's a hot, humid, sticky night here in Italy, and it's even worse than that, boy. You can imagine lots of beer, fans that have been drinking all day, but it's a fantastic atmosphere, and we're just waiting for Newcastle United to get that first goal. It's currently half time. There's still 45 minutes to go, but I think a lot of Newcastle United fans would take this current result of 0-0 at full time. Not too bad. AC Milan have dominated the statistics, but it's still all to play for, 45 minutes to go. It's a little bit quiet, yeah. It's been a little bit quiet since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. As I said earlier in the video, this has been the hub for the last few days. But at the moment, it's quite dead. All the fans at the San Siro, but we're expecting this place here at the canal to get absolutely packed come full time. So it's 11 o'clock here in Milan. As you can see behind me, Newcastle United fans are starting to slowly pour into the Navigli Canal after being at the San Siro. This area of the city has been quite quiet, a lot quieter than we thought, but Newcastle United fans who have been at the game are starting to make their way here for some late drinks, some late food. Not the result that any of the Newcastle United fans wanted. I was watching it in the Blues Canal Irish pub where, you know, Newcastle United fans were sort of very anxious, very nervous. There was a few moments of hope, a few glimmers of maybe they were going to snatch an unexpected and undeserved win, but it wasn't to be the case. But look, I think, you know, the time for a full debrief will come. I don't think now's the time for a full-throated explanation as to why they got beat. Newcastle United fans that are here are just happy that they've watched their club in Europe after all these years. So this is the final morning, the journey home starts now. I'm just sat in the hotel breakfast room. You can probably hear a lot of Italians clinking coffee cups behind me. Just about to check out and then probably going to head into the centre to try and get some reaction to last night's game. See if there's any Newcastle United fans lingering after last night before they fly home. Be very, very interested to see what they think about the game. You know, are they happy with the result? Are they a bit disappointed? I think if you'd offered these fans a draw at the San Siro a couple of days ago, I think they would have absolutely, you know, snapped your arm off. But has the manner of the performance and the fact that Newcastle didn't really have many chances in front of goal, has that sort of changed the perception? It certainly did where I was last night in the city. I feel like a lot of Newcastle United fans very disappointed, but I think that's because they wanted a goal, they wanted, you know, a really good chance to try and hold on to. And anyhow admitted they didn't do enough in front of goal last night, and I think we'll all agree. So it'll be very, very intriguing to see whether Newcastle fans are happy with the result, whether they're sort of, you know, in the middle, or whether they're a bit disappointed. So we're going to head in. We're going to check out. It's been a fantastic trip. Wish it wasn't come to an end. But yeah, flying home this afternoon. We'll go see what the fans are saying. So you're going to have to disregard that last bit of the video where I said I was going into the centre to speak to fans, because I've got a motto, and that motto is the last minute is the best minute, and that means I leave everything to the last possible minute. And I've had such a nightmare this morning trying to check in. I haven't had time to go to the centre. I've had to try and race over to Milan airport in time to catch my flight in about an hour. And also on this trip, it's been non-stop, and I feel like, you know, you've wanted to see this food content, you know, you've wanted to see all the delights that Milan has to offer culinary-wise, and I just haven't been able to give it. Yeah, I've been waking up, I've been having breakfast, and then I've been out all day, and it's been grabbing something on the way home, if I'm completely honest. So, the wait is over. Finally, you're going to get a little bit of food content out in these daily vlogs that we've been doing on Chronicle Live for the last couple of days, and I feel like everybody says come to Milan, talk about the food, get the food. And I don't know whether I have just picked maybe the worst type of pizza I could have got in Milan. I mean, it looks good, but I think when you think about some of the food that I've probably walked past and not been able to eat in the last couple of days because of how busy we've all been, you know, I'm thinking maybe have I missed the trick, and maybe I'm going to have to come back to Italy in the next couple of months to try out the food again. But I hope you've enjoyed the content that we've given you the last couple of days. We try to, you know, bring you into the heart of Milan with us on the website through these videos and the podcast that we've been doing. It's been an amazing trip. I think every single fan, despite not getting the win last night, will agree, and I think it's just really whetted the appetite for Dortmund and PSG in the next couple of weeks. And I think, you know, Newcastle United will have learned a lot, the fans have learned a lot. And hopefully this is the first of many Italian trips. Thanks very much for watching these vlogs, and we'll speak to you very, very soon.